Leviticus 10. Then Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, each took his fire pan and put fire in it, sent incense on it, and presented strange fire before the Lord, which he had not commanded them to do. So we have strange fire. The expression strange fire seems imprecise. Profane fire, unauthorized fire, unholy fire, a different kind of fire, and has been interpreted numerous ways. The infraction may have involved any of the following or a combination thereof: using coals from someplace other than the burnt offering altar, unauthorized coals, unauthorized person, using the wrong kind of incense, regulation against strange incense on the incense altar and the possible connection, performing an incense offering at the imprecise time, entering the Holy of Holies at an inappropriate time. I think since it mentions and presented strange fire, the point of it, in my mind, is the way they are doing it or what they are doing it with is not the right thing for them to do. So, in response, right after God makes his presence known, fire shows up. They present strange fire to the Lord that they were not commanded to do. So fire went out from the presence of the Lord and consumed them so that they died before the Lord. Now, this might seem a harsh thing. One of the things that we have on a couple of different occasions is when God is instituting something brand new and you are following the new institution and implementation of something, there are severe consequences for those people who violate the thing that they are to do. The consecrating of the temple and offering to God right here up front, violating the rules, there is no grace and mercy shown by God here. When we have the Ananias and Sapphira coming, there is a violation there, and there is their death happening immediately. We have this with Achan, when they're going into land, they're conquering the land, and there's a violation. He and his family die. So at the inauguration of things, grace and mercy is not always extended to people who violate God's specified rules. In other words, here's what we're saying we're going to do. This is what we need to do, and we need to do it the right way from the start. So when it's not done right from the start, we have these severe punishments, consequences that take place. Moses then said to Aaron, "This is what the Lord spoke. Among the ones close to me, I will show myself holy, and in the presence of all the people, I will be honored." So Aaron kept silent. So in other words, before Aaron has a chance to complain to God about God taking his sons who had violated something they should do, God says, "I will be honored. I will show myself holy. Your sons violated that." So Aaron keeps quiet. Moses then called to Mishael and Eliphaz, the sons of Uzziel, Aaron's uncle, and said to them, "Come near, carry your brothers from the front of the sanctuary to a place outside the camp." So they came near and carried them away in their tunics to the place outside the camp, just as Moses had spoken. Then Moses said to Aaron and Eleazar and Ithamar, his other two sons, "Do not dishevel the hair on your head, and do not tear your garments, so that you do not die, and so the wrath does not come on the whole congregation. Your brothers, all the house of Israel, are to mourn the burning that the Lord has caused, but you must not go out from the entrance of the meeting tent, lest you die, for the Lord's anointing oil is on you." So they acted according to the words of Moses. So in other words, you are priests, you have been anointed with oil, you cannot go and abandon your post, you cannot rip your garment, you cannot go and mourn, because we're in the process of setting apart of a value of the temple of God, all of these things. Sorry, but you don't get to do the mourning. The people will mourn on your behalf. Now, Moses is telling the other two sons who didn't do this that they can't go out, they can't do these things. Aaron has been silent. Moses is now in a, how do we correct all of this? Hey, you Aaron's or sons of Levi, go and do this, take care of the bodies while we're still here with everything else that's going on. But you guys can't leave the temple. We're in the process of dedicating it. Then the Lord spoke to Aaron. Do not drink wine or strong drink, you and your sons with you, when you enter the tent of meeting, so that you do not die. This is a perpetual statute throughout your generations, as well as to distinguish between the holy and the common, between the unclean and the clean, and to teach the Israelites all the statutes that the Lord has spoken through Moses. So you are not to drink wine, you are not to drink strong drink when you enter into the tent of meeting. So when you are leading the people and doing all of the things that God has called you to do, you do not drink. You are set apart, you don't do that. Then Moses spoke to Aaron and to Eleazar and Ithamar, his remaining sons. Take the grain offering which remains from the gifts of the Lord and eat it unleavened beside the altar, for it is most holy. You must eat it in the holy place because it is your allotted portion and the allotted portion of your sons from the gifts of the Lord, for this is what I have been commanded. Also, the breast of the wave offering and the thigh of the contribution offering, you must eat it in ceremonially clean place, you and your sons and daughters with you. This is interesting. The daughters now are included. For the foods have been offered as your allotted portion and the allotted portion of your sons from the peace offering sacrifices of the Israelites. The thigh of the contribution offering and the breast of the wave offering, they must bring in addition to the gifts of the fat portions to wave them as a wave offering before the Lord, and it will belong to you and your sons with you as a perpetual statute, just as the Lord commanded. So, Aaron, you and your sons need to finish the process of offering things, and part of the offering of things is the consuming and eating of them. So you need to eat these things. Later, Moses sought diligently for the sin offering male goat, but it had actually been burnt. So he became angry at Eleazar and Ithamar, Aaron's remaining sons, saying, "Why did you not eat the sin offering in the sanctuary? For it is most holy," and he gave it to bear the iniquity for the congregation, to make atonement on their behalf before the Lord. See here, its blood was not brought into the holy place within. You should certainly have eaten it in the sanctuary, just as I commanded. But Aaron spoke to Moses. So here his sons, so it says, he sought diligently for the sin offering male goat, but it had actually been burnt. So I think here what could have happened is the whole offering is burnt, not a portion set aside for them to eat. They just burned the whole thing. That could be one way to read this. Or the offering had been offered. He was supposed to be eating of the offering. Instead of eating it, they just burned up what was supposed to remain until morning. Because it says, "Why did you not eat the offering in the sanctuary? For it was most holy, and he gave it to you to bear the iniquity, to make atonement." So, but it says, its blood was not brought into the holy place within. That's the part that makes me think, oh, the offering was just fully burnt. The term within refers to bringing the blood into the holy place for application on the altar of incense rather than for the altar of burnt offering in the courtyard. So it was supposed to be brought in. It wasn't brought in yet. There's some curious things, not sure exactly. Oh, if you get full before you eat it down? No, what remains is burnt up. What remains is burnt up. So here it appears they burnt the whole thing. They did not participate in eating. So Moses had commanded them, they're supposed to eat of the offerings. It looks like instead they just burn the offerings. But Aaron spoke to Moses, "See here, just today they presented their sin offering and their burnt offering before the Lord, and such things as these have happened to me. If if I had eaten a sin offering today, would the Lord have been pleased?" When Moses heard the explanation, he was satisfied. So they did not eat of the sin offering. They simply offered the sin offering. They didn't participate in eating. They were not able to show outwardly by putting sackcloth and ashes and burning or ripping their garments because they are in holy garments. They're not able to participate in that way. However, they were doing their part of participating in mourning the actions because they did not consume food. They did not eat. So such things have happened. If I had eaten the sin offering today, would the Lord have been pleased? The Lord would not have been pleased if I was eating of the sin offering, so we abstained from eating from the sin offering. The idiom would it be good in the eyes of the Lord has been translated, would the Lord have been pleased? Yeah, would have been good in the eyes of the Lord. Would the Lord have approved of me just eating and fasting when my sons were killed? No. I can't participate. The God's already instructed. You've instructed. I cannot rip my garments. I can't put on sackcloth and ashes. I need to do the work, but I am not going to participate in the eating of these things, but I will participate in the offering of these things. I think there's some wisdom there in the grace of how people are and their capacity to do things. I really find some beauty in this, that Aaron, think about this too, of as a pastor who is doing the funeral for someone. I am mourning the loss of that person from the congregation just as well as everyone else in the congregation. However, my role and responsibility is the one who is conducting the service, who is guiding everyone else and the family in their time of grief, sorrow, and remembrance. And I don't get to participate in the same way that everyone else does. I don't fully get to do those things. Even if it's a family member and I were conducting it, I don't get to fully participate in the same way that everyone else does. And so here is a concession made to Aaron and the other sons of not fully participating in by eating and taking the portion that is to be theirs and rejoicing in that, because they're not in a season of rejoicing. They're in a season of sorrow, and their lack of eating is the part that they're going to be able to do to demonstrate that.